So recently I made these vintage round rectangle borders for the members in my Shirtheads community as a free resource. You can see it right here. In this video, I want to show you how I made them in Affinity so you can make them for yourselves, and how you can bring these into Kiddo or Canva and create designs. So I'm going to show you a couple of designs that I made with these as well in this video. So lots to see in this video. These borders can help a lot, especially if you're stuck. It can help you get a design that looks very vintage and also help you get some sales. So let's get into Affinity Designer right now. I'll show you all 10 that I made and how I made them. All right, so here we are in Affinity. You can get Affinity for free. You can look it up. I'll put a link in the description here, but it's totally free to use. And these are the 10 borders that I made for the Shirtheads community. So when you join the Shirtheads community, you'll get this file as well as the PNGs and the SVGs. And you can open it up and do what I'm doing here. So you can also make these yourself. So I'm going to show you how to do that as well. So here I am. I'm going to copy this border here, or artboard here. I'm going to show you how to do this in Affinity. So let's get rid of that. The first thing you need to do is pick the rectangle tool. That's this right here. Click on it and drag it like that. And next thing you're going to do is change this from fill. You can see set fill, and this one is set stroke. You can just click on these arrows to switch it. So now there's a stroke there. Next thing to do is, what I like to do is align the centers. So I'm going to come in here. There's this box right here for align. I can align center this way and align center this way. So that's centered in my art box or artboard. And then next step is come in here to the move tool, click on this. You'll notice that there's a corner tool right here. Right now there's no corners, but I can hit rounded corners and it's very big. It's not like this, like what we wanted, but you can change that. So right here we can click this. By default it's 25%, but you can come and probably bring it up to, you got to eyeball it, but 8 to 10% is probably what you want. So I'm going to go maybe, 6%. Now, if we scroll in, you can see this one's not as big as that one. And the way to make it bigger is to come in here and make sure to go to your strokes panel. You can see right now it's 19. I'm going to make it maybe 24 or so, 30, 25. You can just eyeball it, like I said. Oh, and the way to change the color is to go to your color palette right here. And then you can change whatever color you want. So I think I had like this darker blue, like that. But you can literally pick whatever color you want. You can see my blue is a little different than that blue. Well, how do you do the next one? Well, the one inside of it, I'm just going to hold down Option, click on this and drag it. And we're going to grab the corner here. I still have the move tool, right, the black, and then I'm going to move it. One way I like to do it is kind of eyeball it between here and here. You see that space here? By the way, I probably need to make this thinner, so I'm going to go stroke here, and you can see it right there like that. So you can eyeball this as well. I kind of like it making it maybe half the size as that one. Okay, so let's do this. That space and this space should be about the same. So let's do that. Again, we're eyeballing it, but I'll show you a way to really center it. And we're going to come down here and going to take this corner and eyeball it like that. Okay, so just like we did with the other one, we're going to center it. So coming out here, we're going to do this alignment, center and center. And that should be great, but you'll notice that this corner doesn't really match that. So what we're going to do is fix the corners too. So come in here and pick this corner here and eyeball it again. And it kind of looks great, like right there. See that? And of course, you can change the color on this. So come in here, check on color. And let's say I want to make this one red instead. Very simple. Now, making it touch against each other, that's a different thing. So the way to do that is kind of like the same thing, but let's make sure this is the same size. So this one is stroke 27. So this one is, I'm going to make it 27. And instead of having that little space there, we're going to butt it up right. This is kind of a fun one too. Look like a white space. That's kind of neat. but instead we're going to butt it up against it. So like this and like that. And we're going to come down here as well to this corner like this and like that. And that's kind of how you do it. Now you can change the corners again just because it's probably a little different. What I like to do is move the corners until I don't see a white. So there and right there. So I think I had it right anyway. And that's how you do those. Of course, this is 3 of the same ones. We can do that. And then this is just another one inside of that. The way to do the outline like this, I'll show you that real quick. And then we'll get into Kittl and show you how to bring these into Kittl. So I did a little hack for this one. One thing you can do is when you click on this and you find the right size that you like, you can also change this to an outline. So let me show you how to do that. What you would do is you'd click on this line. So this is already selected. You go to Vector and then go to Expand Stroked. Now you'll notice now it is one big thing like a square. It's not a stroke. So if it came back to the color, you notice it's a fill, not a stroke. But we can add a stroke. So come in here, click on that. Click on like a dark color like this, maybe even black. And then come in here and increase the stroke until you see that black. Now you see it a little bit there. It helps to fill this with a lighter color. So let's do the fill. We'll click on this again. Do the fill as a lighter color so you can see the black. Now the other black outline is in back of this red one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this to the back. So there's this right here. This will say send to back. Boom. And now you can see both the outlines, those black ones. Now you're going to do the same thing with this red one if you want that. So come in here again, Vector, Expand Stroke. So now that's the fill, not the stroke. I want to have the stroke that color that we wanted here. Same color as this one. Yeah, so I think we did 100 there. So let's do 100 there. And then the stroke size, you can see we'll probably want it the same. Let's see what stroke size this was. This was 2.5, probably a 3 just to make it easier. And then this one also a 3. Perfect. So there you go. That's how you do the outline inside of that. So those are some easy ways to do it. I'm not going to show you how to do all of these, but you can make these. Oh, the inside stroke. Let's start all over. I'm going to get rid of this, do the rectangle again, and we're not going to fill it. Let's see, color, not that. We'll make sure that the stroke is big enough. All right. So one thing I needed to show you is that we have these corners here and we have the rounded corner, right, that we can make like that, but we also have straight like that. You notice that on one of them. And we also have concave. That's the one I used at the bottom there. And we also have cutout, which is that one. So you can mix and match these. One thing that I like doing is I don't think you can pick the corner. Yeah, let me know if you know how to just pick one corner. I don't think you can pick it. Let's see. Is it this? No, that's transform mode. I don't know where the corners went now. Undo. I'm hitting undo. There's the corners. Wonder if this is it. Convert to curves. No. Transform objects separately. That's interesting. I wonder if that's the one. Anyway, I can't figure it out, but there must be a way to do it separately. One thing that I did do is I did do this. So I can come in here and I'm going to make one like this and one like this and change this one to like rounded like that. And then I can come in here and I can combine these two. So this right here, this union, boom. So now I have one corner doing that and the other corner doing that. So that's my hack around that. That's kind of how I did this one. I had one arch here and the other, and then I combined it. Same thing with this one like that. So that's how I did these in Affinity. Again, if you don't want to build these yourself, come and join us on the Shirtheads. You get this as part of the membership there, as well as some of the other things in there, a lot of resources, and we're adding more and more resources to that so that it's a no-brainer. It's a great value because all the stuff is in there, as well as over 300 POD sellers in there helping you out. And it's a good time because it's getting close to Q4. So we're all going to help each other out. Next thing I want to do is go to Kittl, and I'll show you a couple of designs that I made using these by dragging in the borders, the SVGs, and putting it in Kittl and then adding text and graphics to it. All right, so here I am in Kittl, and you can see some of the graphics that I used here, as well as the borders and the text. So these two are the same. I just made one that works on a dark one and one that works on a light one. And I have this font right here. You can see Freckle Face. I created this in AI, the graphics in AI. I dragged in the border and I colored it. You can see I can color it in different colors. So when you drag it in, it's an SVG and you have all these selection of colors. So I could come in here, and if I want this a different color, I can click on this and then pick a different color. You can see that right there. It's changing. Isn't it cool? So that's because it's an SVG, and SVGs are vectors, and you can change the color. So I'm going to make sure and change that color back here. I just picked some of the colors that are inside of the graphic. So this darker color here, and that's kind of the color of the skull. And this red was from that mug here. I think it turned out great. Oh, and these right here are just elements from Kittle. So that fit in just fine. And I used the custom transformation on that just so that it works on the arc. This next one here is the 3-lined one. And the way I have it breaking out of it is I made this as a separate thing. So I copied it here as this one, and I cropped it and erased some of the things. So it's kind of like an illusion that it's actually popping up, but they're two separate things. And I might want to do, like, this would be perfect to have the cup break out too, but I didn't do that. But I'm also using the same one. I like this font here. It's very vintagey. I had this kid, one of the topics for this month was archery, and I was trying to think of a funny way to do archery, and I was thinking of a little boy doing archery inside the house, and it's not an indoor sport. I should probably say archery is not an indoor sport. That would be more funny, but I said archery is an outdoor sport. I like the not. I might change that actually, now that I think about it. But you can see here, I'm just picking the colors. I picked this color from that and the color from there. So hopefully this was helpful for you, that you can see how to use these in real life, and it makes really cool design t-shirts, and you can bring it into Kittle or Canva or wherever, and it kind of just gets you started with a cool vintage design. Now, if you want to get it, I'll put a link in the description to the Shirtheads as well. But if you want to make your own, you can follow that Affinity tutorial that I just did. I think either way, it really helps you get some cool designs out that are very vintage and hot right now. I think a lot of people love these vintage designs. So there you go. That was your Affinity tutorial on how to do the round rectangles and how you can use it on t-shirts. If you like stuff like this, make sure to leave a comment on what you want to see next. Thanks again for watching. And as always, keep creating and keep learning. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.